If you're considering self-publishing, this video series will help you determine whether that is the right course for your book and your career, and it will help you understand the steps that you need to take to be successful as a self-published author. I'm Victoria, author and editor, and welcome to the Self-Publishing Success series. In this series of YouTube videos, we are going to be breaking down the self-publishing process step by step so you can go in prepared. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure and click that subscribe button so you don't miss the next videos. Today we are going to talk about what self-publishing is, the pros, the cons, and how you can determine whether it's right for you. First of all, what is self-publishing? Self-publishing involves publishing your own book through a platform such as Ingram Spark or Kindle Direct Publishing, which is Amazon's platform. Because Amazon is the most popular choice, that's what we're going to be focusing on for this series. Basically, when you self-publish a book, you become both the author and the publisher, which means that you take on all the responsibilities of the publisher. It also means that you maintain all the control. One of the biggest questions that comes up with self-publishing is it legitimate? Is it a viable route to a writing career? The answer is yes, but that comes with a caveat. Because there are no gatekeepers to self-publishing, no agents, no acquiring editors that you have to impress, there is no quality control inherent to self-publishing. That means that while self-published books can be of a quality just as high as traditionally published books, they can also be of a lesser quality and significantly so. Readers know that, and so they're judging self-published books a little more harshly than they may judge traditionally published books, because they don't have that built-in quality control and that built-in assurance that the book is going to meet these expected levels of quality. So when you are self-publishing, it is important to keep that in mind and to do your best to hit all of those notes that you need to hit to bring your book up to that industry standard level. During the series, we're going to be talking about the specific things that you can do to make that happen. Now, let's talk quickly about what self-publishing is not. Self-publishing is not a backup plan. A lot of authors consider self-publishing when they are not able to publish traditionally. Self-publishing is a lot of work, and it is not good to think of it as a consolation prize if you're not able to publish traditionally. If you're not sure that self-publishing is the right move for you based on the pros and cons that we're going to talk about in just a second, then it is better to scrap that manuscript and start a new one. Never self-publish just because you don't know what else to do or you don't want the work to be wasted. Because no work is ever wasted. Every manuscript is a learning experience. We build on each one and get better with each one. That said, let's talk about a few of the pros and cons of self-publishing. Some of the pros are that it can be faster than traditional publishing. It is by no means a fast process, especially once you go through all of the steps that you need to go through in order to put out a high quality book. Now, of course, if you just throw something together and throw it up on Amazon, it doesn't take very long. But for most authors, that's not the goal. We want to put the same level of energy and effort into the publishing process that we put into the writing process to really do justice to the book. However, with self-publishing, you do not have to go through the process of querying an agent, landing an agent, and then going out on submission to publishers, and then everything that comes with that. It can take a long time. Self-publishing does allow you to streamline that process. The second pro is guaranteed publication. There are no gatekeepers. Now again, this is kind of a double-edged sword because it does remove that quality assurance for readers. But especially for authors whose stories may fall into a kind of strange genre category. Maybe it's an odd combination of genres, or maybe it's too much like other things that are on the market right now. That can be a really good thing. The third pro, which is one of the biggest reasons that people opt for self-publishing, is complete control. You have the final say on everything having to do with your book. All of the edits, the design elements. You get the final decision on each little thing, and that's something that you do lose when you publish traditionally. With that, you also get a higher percentage of the royalties. Of course, you still have to pay Amazon their cut, but you get a much higher percentage than you would with a traditional publisher. Now let's talk about some of the cons to consider. Typically, self-published books have less reach than traditionally published books. You may have a harder time getting into some libraries or brick-and-mortar bookstores, which from a financial perspective, you should consider because even though your percentage of royalties is going to be higher, the overall profits for the book may be lower. And also, a lot of authors want to reach as many people as possible, which may dissuade you from choosing self-publishing. The second con is that there is no support. You are everything. You are it with self-publishing. As the author and the publisher, you're responsible for all elements of the book's creation, presentation, and marketing. You're responsible for everything. Self-publishing is kind of a with great power comes great responsibility situation. The next con is a big one to consider. There are upfront costs associated with self-publishing. Now, Amazon does not charge you to actually publish the book in the strictest sense of the word. However, as the author and the publisher, you are responsible for all aspects of the publishing process. That includes cover design and interior formatting, along with any budget that you're going to invest in marketing efforts. We'll talk more in later videos about why you should hire professionals for these things, why it is important not to try to do everything yourself. But for now, let's just leave it at there are upfront costs. With traditional publishing, that is not the case. You do not pay an agent upfront. They get a cut of your royalties. You do not pay a publishing house. In fact, they pay you upfront. And that is the next con with self-publishing. There is no advance. When you publish traditionally, you get a cash advance, the amount of which can vary. But again, with self-publishing, that's not the case. And the last con with self-publishing is that there is no automatic prestige that you're going to get from self-publishing. With traditional publishing, it's understood that that author had to pass a series of gatekeepers, and therefore it's already understood that their book is at a certain quality level. With self-publishing, you have to earn that. Self-published authors earn their stripes through things like positive reviews. So when you're looking at self-publishing versus traditional publishing, one of the biggest questions to ask is whether you are willing to invest more time upfront or more money, because self-publishing is going to require the actual financial investment right out of the gate. Traditional publishing, on the other hand, is going to require more of a time investment. And of course, would you rather have the control and the responsibility that comes with that as a self-published author, or would you rather have the support system of a traditionally published author? Those are some of the really big things to think about when you're considering self-publishing a book. In the next video, we're going to talk about the first steps that you can take to get your book ready for self-publication. If you're considering self-publishing a book, or if you have self-published a book, leave a comment. Let me know what are some things that you're nervous about, or what was it about self-publication that really put you over the edge and made you take the leap. Again, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos in this series. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all next time.